I have been surprised by some of the comments and emails I've had from friends over the whole issue of why bulk. It's not due to mental instability, but there are actually some reasons behind it. And there's two. There's, I suppose, what you would call medical or physiological reasons for putting on muscle mass, which is the thought that lies behind the concept of bulking. And secondly, there's personal reasons why I would choose to engage in an activity like bodybuilding that involves something like bulking. Now, first of all, let's have a think about some of the physiological ones, and these are the sorts of things that I've just sort of learned or discovered along the way. The first is that past the age of, I think it's 25, men start to lose 2.5% of their muscle mass if they're not involved in strenuous activity. So muscle mass decreases past 25. Between the ages of 35 and 45, there's a marked drop-off in testosterone production in most men, but their estrogen levels still remain high because estrogen is produced at the same rate to match testosterone to keep it balanced in the environment, within the hormonal environment within your body. So as testosterone drops, estrogen still doesn't drop to match the testosterone, it still remains high. Now when testosterone drops in a man, leaving estrogen high, that's where you have problems with prostate cancer. So the aim is to bring testosterone back up, but not keep estrogen elevating. So if you take a supplement like zinc, and there's a couple of other, natural ones that are really soft on your system but very effective, they stop the aromatizing factor of estrogen, keeping it low. And if you engage in activities that increase muscle mass, it actually increases because muscles produce testosterone. The more muscle mass a man has, the higher his level of testosterone. So you increase muscle mass and therefore naturally increase your testosterone level. Now, why testosterone is important is because for things like your heart's a muscle. In Japan, in the last 10 years, they've been treating angina in men with testosterone replacement therapy, and it's been stopping it altogether because the muscle has become healthier. So you've got those happening as on a physiological level, and on a natural level, I did a whole bunch of fasting in my early Christian days, lots of 40-day fasts, 21-day fasts, 14-day fasts. And when your body is in a calorie-depleted environment, the very first thing it cannibalizes is muscle. So I lost a lot of muscle mass, and I was left with a lot of body fat because your body doesn't eat the fat stores first, it eats the muscle. Then it goes to the fat stores as the end result. That's why you can have apparently skinny people with very high levels of body fat percentages. So-called skinny people still with 15, 16, 17, 18% body fat. And I noticed that when I would come off these fasts, I would still be left with a very high percentage of body fat, and I would have to start again all over increasing my muscle mass. So that's first thought on the physiological and personal issues. The second thing is you can only put muscle on in a calorie-rich environment. You cannot be depleting yourself of calories on a diet and hope to be able to push bigger weight and to gain muscle mass. The more muscle mass you have, the more weight you have, the bigger the weights you're able to push. The bigger the weights you're able to push, the bigger your muscles grow. So you actually have to, in this little factory of your body, you have to keep calories high. You have to increase weight to push weight, and the more weight that you push, the bigger that your muscles grow. And the idea is to be able to deliberately put on weight, to push weight, to grow muscle, and as a result of it, when you get to a stage, is then be able to bring it back into some sort of balance. Now, calorie-rich environment is only 1 calorie more than what you need, but that's a very hard thing to manage over a week-long process. And you don't know how much muscle you're actually putting on that you have to continually to feed. So you don't want to top out your ratio. So you give yourself a period of time, and normally it's between 12 and 16 weeks. I took a 20-week bulk because I've never done it before and I wanted to make sure I got it right. and I took a 20-week bulk, and I said, for this 20 weeks, I will eat. I didn't eat the pizzas and the hamburgers and the stuff like that. I ate lean proteins, clean proteins, good carbohydrates. I had one day off a week where it was just have at it as hard as I could on top of what I was doing. I was having 250 grams of protein. I was having about 3,500 calories a day. I was exercising and still am exercising, 5 days a week. So it's not something, it takes more discipline to do this than just about anything else. And I'll talk about that in a later post. So the idea is to keep your body rich and know that you're going to put it on. The problem isn't putting on weight. The problem is people's inability, that they do it without mind, and then they don't have the discipline to reduce the body fat. I don't want to reduce my weight, I want to reduce my body fat percentage while keeping my muscle mass, which means over this next period of time, this next 24 weeks, I will be increasing my protein levels, decreasing my carbohydrate levels, exercising as much as I can, only walking for cardio because I want to concentrate on burning the fat that I've allowed myself to pick up while keeping the muscle mass that I've deliberately generated. So that is the thought behind why bulking, and you have to do a cutting after a bulking. It's not a diet that I'm on. It's a little physiological experiment on using and manipulating my body to be able to gain the results that I want.